Hello dear friends, welcome back to your favorite Mexican channel in English. This is Paco, this is vlogging from Mexico, and today I want you to join me to our very first adventure together. Today I want to show you, as I proposed before, how is it life in a rural Mexican town. As you remember, the purpose of this channel is to approach to the nuances of Mexican life in this outer part of the most touristic places. So join me, because we are gonna have serious fun today. Now guys, in regards to the methodology of this video, because of course there's a methodology behind, I want to take you first to the surroundings of this town, and I want us to later get closer to the central part of it. Having said so, this view used to be one of my favorite views, because this is the entrance, and I'm gonna show you. This is the entrance, or this used to be the entrance to the very heart of the countryside in this town. Unfortunately, as I stated before, and as you can see, humans in general, and more specific Mexicans in general, we just consume our surroundings. This is very bad publicity, but you see, we leave very often trash behind us, and unfortunately in the countryside it's not rare that people, they just clean up their backyards, they clean up their fields, and they just leave behind or aside these bunches of plants, rotten stuff. Yeah. Oh, and that, I don't know if you're familiar with this in your places of origins, but these people usually sell ice creams or sorbets or both. And one can see them especially in very warm days, as this one is already, and it will become warmer and hotter later on. But let's see if we can get something cooler to refresh ourselves. Guys, as I said, I really wanted to get a sorbet, probably a lemon sorbet, but when I turned to get my money, I just realized that I should really show you what I have behind. Buenas tardes. And this that I'm showing you, it's one of my favorite landmarks in the Mexican heart, which is the volcano that we call, it's not even in Spanish, but in Nahuatl language, La Malintzin, or Matlcueyetl. This is as I said, this is not a Spanish name, but it's a Nahuatl name, and it dominates the landscape. And next to it, I really want you to show you this. Later on, we'll visit this one, my second favorite landmark of the landscape, which is the Catholic Church, which has a tremendously beautiful facade in Baroque style. So we'll move forward, but now, after I leave you with this first glance of the wide looking facade, I think it's time to get back for us to chase that refreshing lemon lemon sorbet. And I just checked for this lady who was selling sorbets or ice creams, I don't know, and she just disappeared. I don't know. She just vanished among these these houses, or she went somewhere else. And yeah, I want you to keep on watching how do the surroundings in a rural Mexican town in central Mexico look like. And I want you to comment if this type of environment really matches your perspective or the ideas that you have or that you had about this less known, less explored, less promoted part of Mexico. So guys, I want you to listen to this. Fuck off. That's a very typical Mexican sonorous landscape. It's the guy which sells stuff to clean up. I mean, no, not to clean up the house, but these type of people, they usually of metal-based stuff. And what they do is they just arrive to the towns. They're everywhere in rural Mexico. They arrive to the towns and they take a promenade all along the streets with this sound, announcing themselves. And for instance, if I'm about to get rid of some metallic stuff or metallic materials, let's say that I have a old chair, metallic base that I don't want anymore, buenas tardes. What I have to do is just to go outside my door and wait for this guy, and they usually just offer you very few money, but you get rid at the end of your stuff that you don't want anymore. So yeah, and as I was saying, this used to be like one of my favorite parts of the town. I left this town for almost like a decade, and when I have gotten back here, unfortunately the whole scenario has dramatically changed. And one of the reasons why it also used to be one of my favorite parts, it's because there was a lot of water, like feeding the crops, because all this land used to be used for planting corn, beans, cucumbers, but nowadays most of this landscape has gone. Of course, this is not just unique to this. I'll take a look to. I really want to show you this type of artifacts that are used to control the water depth and the current. But yeah, as I was saying, this used to be a super beautiful natural landscape, and believe me or not, when it used to be even more beautiful than what I remember. For instance, there are a lot of stories from my grandma, from my aunt, from my mother, and they say that, for instance, these small channels, they used to be like wider and deeper, and they used to be filled with crystal water and with small fishes. And now when we get back here, and I mean, it could be way worse, but of course it doesn't correspond itself to what I have heard from stories from my ancestors and from what I saw when I was a child. It's a shame, and in a way, of course, I want you to know again this part of Mexico, this part of the rural Mexican landscape, but also I want that this video remains in the platforms, and that can be in a way a testimony of how this part of Mexico has reshaped and how these landscape have evolved, even if they have not evolved for the best. Apparently I'm getting closer to what remains from this landscape that I have just talked to you about. Meantime, I want you to see this reddish plant. It looks super tropical, and its name in Spanish is platanillo, or in Mexican Spanish. If you're watching this video from somewhere else, maybe another Spanish-speaking country, let us know, share with us if you know this plant, or I don't know. Guys, I have discovered that many plants that we have in Mexico, and I think this happens in a very similar way in other regions, they actually come from Southeast Asia, which is not that surprising if you actually think in historical terms, in the sense that like Asian trade parting from the 15th and 16th century reached many parts of the world. It's time to shut up, because this part starts to look a little bit in the way that I knew this place when I was a child. As you see, houses are reaching also this part, but what I have talked about is like, in a way, like this type of landscape. You see, farmers have prepared the land to be used for agricultural use, and when I was a child, this part of the town used to be more or less like this. So you can see and realize how privileged I was. Okay, imagine we don't have that house, but you can see how privileged I was to have like this kind of views as a child. I still can Oops, it seems that I cut the video, but I was saying that I still can remember coming to this part of the countryside with my mother, with my aunties, and taking a walk here. And for me, guys, that was some of the most amazing memories that I keep from my child years. I really cherish it, and for me, I'm really having fun showing you this, but also in a way it's a bit painful to see how much we have transformed this scenario. Of course, people are getting their houses. The central part of the town is already full of houses, so they need more space. But as we say in Mexican Spanish, because of a meme, at what cost? At which cost? But another day I have to bring you here, because sometimes I have taken walks here, and the view that we get at sunset, you can imagine, guys, it's just magnificent. because we have like this plateau. We're actually at a valley. You see the mountains, you see the volcanoes, and this used to be a very prolific agricultural valley, but you know, the environment, it's ever changing. I'll prepare another time a video for you, showing you the what it's on the other side of the mountains. I think now it's time for us to start reapproaching civilization. Of course, over there, what it's left, it's more countryside. But I think I will just, you know what, guys, we will just get there. And because if I don't do it, when I will edit the video, I'll be regretting. And there's nothing that I hate the most in this life than regretting. So just let's go for it, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we will find something interesting over there, something more special, something more peculiar. But you see, now, yeah, this tree already shows some serious signs of aging. And I'm saying this to nuance what I have just previously stated about the loss of trees on the other side. Thinking about it, maybe it was not just about humans being bad beings and cutting off every tree, but you know, it also often happens that trees, they get old, and since a lot of people from these rural areas, such as I did back in the days, they just immigrate and they just don't replant anymore, and our older people die, and there's nobody left to take care of the countryside, and you know, everything starts to degrade. But yeah, so now we are approaching, now it's getting greener, now it's getting cooler. Oh, my dear friends, even my heart starts to get greener and cooler, and if we close our eyes, we can get back to our childhood days. No, but it's really beautiful. When I was planning this video, and I was taking my pen and I was writing down, okay, like we have like this small town, what can I show to my people, what can I show to my foreign friends, and I was hesitating in a way to come here because, you know, again, usually, I don't know, we will go to the pyramids, we will go to the, I mean, I'm about like 600 kilometers away from the beach, but you know, coming to the to the agricultural fields and to the what is left of the forest is not the most evident idea. But once again, I really want you to get to know with deep detail like the real Mexico. Like, I mean, every part of Mexico is real, and that's true, but you know, like, I want you to get to know those parts where you won't come if you get to Mexico. Yeah, I just got inspired, sorry. And instead of my already tanned face, I should be showing you this. You see, probably this hypothesis is right. This tree also looks super old. But imagine how beautiful this should have been back on the days. Well, beautiful and hard, because yeah, of course, um, the countryside demands a lot of work, and fields, the agricultural work demands a lot of work. So yeah, it should have been more beautiful, greener, you know, but also hard hard work was needed. Guys, let's do something extravagant. I mean, we're getting older. Yeah, let's descend to these former. I mean, it's not that old, but this channel. Now you can say that you have landed also in an old former uh, Mexican channel in rural Mexico. Look at this. This looks. Look at this giant which has fallen. Oh my god. Can you imagine this? I mean, should we go up there? What would you do? What would you do? Fuck. What would you do? Yeah. Okay, maybe just keep moving. 'Cause there's a lot of that I want you to still see. So I think for countryside it's kind of enough. I will take some steps and I will get back in some minutes to you. That's the trash collector. Another beauty of the rural Mexican countryside. Yeah. I hope we can get closer later so I can show you that beautiful beast. Marvels the Mexican genius. And this is linked to the Mexican Revolution. We can say Che Guevara over there. Okay, if I get killed, I just want you to know who were the killers.